Hello, my name is Alexis, and this is Intersections at the Border, Cuban and Haitian Immigration in the 1990s as part of my Intro to Chicanx and Latinx History course at the Claremont Colleges. Fidel Castro. That is a name associated with some of the worst times in Cuba. It reminds Cubans of his communist regime, his militant force, of the reasons why they immigrated here. In 1959, the mass immigration of Cubans to the United States to escape the political conditions Castro had created began. The United States received Cubans with open arms, even passing legislation such as the Cuban Adjustment Act of 1966 to help Cubans migrate and gain residential status in the United States. However, on September 29, 1991, Haiti faced a coup d'etat against their current president, Jean-Bertrand Aristide. For this reason, masses of Haitian people began to immigrate to the United States. However, in 1981, Ronald Reagan passed the Haitian Migrant Interdiction Operation, which set up a system where the Coast Guard would intercept any Haitians found at sea and return them to Haiti. This did not stop when Haiti faced a militant government. If any Haitians happened to make it to the Coast Guard would put them in detention centers where they would usually be held for months or even years to come, and more often than not, Haitians wouldn't be considered for refugee status. This was because of the way that Haitian immigration was contextualized inside the United States. It was said that all Haitian immigrants were economic refugees, and while Haiti was the poorest country in Latin America, it did not justify the presumption that they were not political refugees. However, we began to see a double standard in the way Haitians were treated as opposed to the way Cubans were treated. Haitians were automatically assumed to be economic refugees. They were intercepted at sea, put on the Coast Guard's boat already en route back to Haiti, and given 20 minutes to explain why they sought asylum in the United States. They were only given 20 minutes to explain why they escaped the country in a raft, endangering their lives to come to the United States. They were only given 20 minutes that were cut short by the translations between the Coast Guard and the Haitian immigrants. They were only given 20 minutes to convince the Coast Guard, which had already made its decision prior to their explanation, to grant them the opportunity to receive asylum status. In contrast, Cuban immigrants usually were only detained for 2 days to 2 weeks at the same detention centers Haitians were. After that, they would receive parole for 1 year inside the United States. After the 1 year parole period had passed, they could receive residential status inside the United States. Additionally, they could receive work permits within their parole period, granting them residential status. However, the hypocrisy and double standard of the United States immigration system became clear when Cubans explained why they were coming to the United States. A lot of the times, Cuban people were coming due to political reasons. However, some came for economic reasons as well. According to the behaviors against economic reasons for immigrating and Haitian immigrants, these Cubans should have been deported back to Cuba. However, this was not the case. Most of these Cuban immigrants were treated like they were political asylum seekers and went through the same process that allowed them to become legal residents in the United States. This contrast in treatment clearly exposed the discrimination against Haitian immigrants to all of the United States society. In order to try and rationalize the Coast Guard's behavior, it was said that the Coast Guard was intercepting and deterring Haitians from coming to the United States because they were worried for their safety. Again, this was extremely hypocritical because they were not saying or doing the same things to Cuban immigrants. There was a clear bias and even glorification towards the immigration of Cuban people to the United States. This is proven by Cheryl Little, the supervising attorney at the Haitian Refugee Center Incorporated at this time, through a statement before Congress. She states, "In Sunday's Miami Herald, there was a picture of 2 Cuban rafters who were brought to the U.S. along with their dog, who was also rescued by the Coast Guard. A similar article mentioned a local resident who has been collecting rafts used by Cubans, which are turned over to him by the Coast Guard with the intent of putting them in a museum to honor the Cubans who risked their lives on high seas. We are a long way from seeing any such display of Haitian boats, which are routinely destroyed by the Coast Guard. So why are Haitian immigrants treated so differently than Cuban immigrants? Well, mainly for 2 reasons: economic status and political alignments. Like I said before, Haiti was the poorest country in Latin America, so the United States was not inclined to let Haitians in. They saw them as an economic burden to the United States. This created a sense of elitism within the United States government that allowed for the mistreatment of Haitian immigrants. This was seen through their detention for extended periods of time, their interception at sea, the lack of consideration for these Haitian immigrants, and the fact that only 24 out of thousands were considered for asylum status inside the United States. However, this mistreatment and refusal to consider Haitian immigrants as worthy of seeking asylum was also associated with the fact that Haiti was not under a communist regime, if not a democratic one. Because Cuba was under Castro's communist government, the United States felt compelled to support the Cuban migrants in their escape from Cuba to the United States. This allowed the United States to continue its anti-communist agenda. However, since Haiti was democratic and anti-communist, the United States government did not see a purpose in helping Haitian immigrants escape the horrible economic and political climate of Haiti. Melissa Lennox states that by making such ideological distinctions, the government sent the message that it would tolerate human rights violations as long as the violator denounces communism. These two factors combined play a big role in the contrast between Cuban and Haitian immigration to the United States. Even though Cuban and Haitian people sought to immigrate to the United States for similar reasons, the process and barriers they faced within the immigration system were worlds apart. This was but a brief history of both Cuban and Haitian immigration. The reality of it is that it's much more complex and interconnected than we realize. So I'll leave you with the question, what other factors could have affected this immigration history, and how did the portrayal of one immigrant group affect the other? Thank you.